Your office is very efficient, by the way.
And Brittany's on top of things. Thank God. I'd be lost without her. This is Michael Gerace with Michelangelo's Plumbing. It is December 12th, 2018. We're at 4400 Azalia Drive, Tarzana, California, performing a video sewer inspection. Got a split system. We're going to run through the mainline cleanout that is on the right front corner of the house. We're going to run through here and we're going to locate and mark the sewer line out and take a look at it. Then we're going to go up on the roof above the garage area on the left-hand side of the house, and we're going to run through a roof vent and trace that branch main out where the tie-in is, locate and mark that area. So we're going to begin running our sewer inspection. Good and clear. Okay. And this is our right corner of the house, right front corner of the house. And this is the driveway area and out toward the front of the property. And we have our 4-inch ABS plastic mainline cleanout right here. Going to begin running through. Yeah, zero out, please. Let's zero out our camera monitor. Begin running through. Okay. Got an ABS plastic mainline cleanout. And looks like we got a little offset as we go in. A little difficult. Our camera's actually flipping back over on itself. There we go. Now we're in the line and we transitioned to vitreous clay and we're holding water right now. Yeah, we have a soft stoppage right here, and we're kind of pushing it through right now. And we're opening the line back up a little bit, running down the line, and we got one root intrusion. Appears it cuts across the driveway, and we're just going to follow it for just a moment, locate where it does go. Okay, we've located this area and we are in the driveway at approximately 2 foot 4 inches deep. Now we're running out toward the street. And we got another large root intrusion. And it does appear that we have Orangeburg pipe. We're going to pause for a moment. and we've located this area, and there is a dot of white paint in the driveway now where somebody else did locate this, and it is at approximately 4 foot 4 inches deep in the driveway area. Then we transition, we got another joint right here, another vitreous clay joint that has quite a bit of root intrusion in the joint. We're going to wait till this water dissipates so that we can see the 4-inch to 6-inch connection as well. I'm going to pause for a moment. So we located that area at 4 foot 4 inches deep in the driveway area where the inlet is, right there. And now we go to the next joint, and we're going to push past here, and we're going to locate the 4-inch to 6-inch lateral connection. And right here again, we have Orangeburg pipe. We have a section of Orangeburg pipe because you can see at the bottom where there's all kinds of humps and bubbles in the bottom of the pipe. See this right here?
Yeah.
And that's very, very common for Orangeburg pipe. So you've got a mixture of Orangeburg pipe and vitreous clay. And generally at those connections, that's where we get a lot of the root intrusion, is at the Orangeburg. So now we're going to push back out. Yeah, that's an Orangeburg joint right there. Now we're going out to, oh yeah, got a large root intrusion right here. And we transition again to vitreous clay, and more than likely this is the 4 to 6 inch connection. We're making a turn, and we should increase. And let's see. Yeah, we increase right there. So you go from 4-inch, and then see how large it gets?
Right.
And we drop into it. So this is the 4-inch to 6-inch vitreous clay transition. So we'll need to go right to that joint and tie in. So we're going to locate that area. Okay, we're now into the 6-inch vitreous clay city lateral. That joint appears to be in fair condition. That joint has a small bit of root intrusion on the right and left side. It looks like almost all the way around the top, but that's still in a maintainable condition. That joint looks to be in fair condition. That joint looks to be in fair condition. That joint looks to be in fair condition. Now we make our turn. Got a little bit of a tiny offset, and we should be dropping right into the city sewer right here. Got a little bit of an offset and a little bit of a separation, but again, not terrible. And there's our city sewer. So the city lateral, the 6-inch, still appears to be in pretty good condition. If anything, what I would do, I mean, lining it, putting the liner in now, not really a necessity. You could go ahead and use Rudex. It's a chemical. Flush down the toilet once a year, once every 2 years, and it'll maintain those small feeder roots. You don't need to hydrojet it. You don't need to run snakes through it, because sometimes you do more damage with the Rudex. It'll keep it at bay. Okay, and now we're going to pause our audio and just pull back, and then we're going to run through the roof vent and take a look at that line. Okay, now we're going to begin pulling back, and then we'll go run through. Did I hit that?
No, just the garden.
Okay, we're going to begin pulling back then. And again, we're going to highlight our area of transition from the 4 to 6. We have that joint. This is right next to the 4 to 6 inch transition. It's actually in the 6 inch where we have this large root intrusion in that small section, but that'll be taken care of when this has to be excavated out there anyways. Okay, we're going to pull back. Let me see from here though how far we are. Okay, so we're at 40. We're right at about 40. That's the inspection T. That's just a turn. Roots are coming in there. You got some good humps and knots. See in the bottom where the roots start pushing that paper up, that tar paper. They just start buckling it. But all in all, this looks to be in pretty good condition compared to a lot of them we see.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a lot of them they're almost flat by the time they start getting smashed in. Okay, we're just going to pull back now. We've located the areas that we need to locate. That's the inlet right there. Which mark?
This is fun. Have you ever had, you've had a colonoscopy?
Oh yeah,
That's what it looks like.
yeah. That's
It
what it
looks
is.
like a colon. Because I've seen that on video.
Oh yeah,
A little bit different.
a little bit.
So that's just all like toilet paper and stuff?
Toilet paper and roots right here. We got a good bit of roots because I can feel it going back through here right there. There's a lot of tension right at this joint, and it's catching the paper right there. Yeah, see all the roots in the turn, we're catching all this paper. Pull back, and that's just right inside. That's right in here. It's catching all the paper. Okay. We're going to pause for a moment. We're going to move our equipment up onto the roof. Now, okay, we're up on the roof, and we're going to begin running through a 2-inch galvanized roof vent. So this is the roof area, chimney. Going to run through here and mark out locate and mark out the area that needs to be pulled. Now we're dropping down into the cast iron waistline, going through the waistline underneath the ground. I'm going to run out to the transition, more than likely to either Orangeburg or vitreous clay at probably the front of the garage from what I can tell. Okay, I want to locate this area real quick. So I'm going to pause for a moment. Okay, we've marked this area where the tie-in is from the kitchen and the garage area. And coming back toward the house, the cast iron looks to be in pretty fair condition. We don't see cracks coming back this way. It's just from that tie-in going out toward the front of the garage. As you can see right here, you have that big blister on the left-hand side. And then the same thing running past that tie-in right there. And then you come upon the root intrusion as well right there. We had the cracking along that area, then the root intrusion in the cast iron coming right through that joint, it looks like is deteriorated. Then we're going to push out some more. And then we've got a large root intrusion that is growing through the pipe as well, right out in front of the garage. We have a very large root intrusion right here. Then we're going to make a turn, and then we transition to the clay. Check and see where this clay is. I'm going to pause for a moment. Okay, we've double checked this area and we are just outside the garage at approximately, hey Glenn, would you say the depth was? 1'6". Okay, thank you. We are at approximately 1'6" outside the garage where the cast iron transitions to vitreous clay. In that first joint we have some roots in. Next joint we have some roots in. We got some debris there. Then we transition again to Orangeburg pipe, and you can see the humps in the bottom of the pipe. They're very pronounced now. Has some very large humps in the bottom of this piping. And we have roots growing through the Orangeburg joint right there. And we're just going to run down and find our tie-in to the other side, which will be the main run. And we got a flat spot in there holding some water, some more roots. And we're going underwater right now, so we're going to have a hard time. And we got some debris there as well. Push past it. The bottom of the Orangeburg pipes deteriorating. And this is primarily Orangeburg on this side. We just have that little piece of vitreous clay. Mostly all Orangeburg from what we can see right now. Some more humps in it. You got some of the bottom that's deteriorating out of the Orangeburg right there. You got some more big humps in the piping right there that you can see we're passing. It's another large hump that we're going to go around. It's actually pushing the camera around. Some more very, very large humps. And very large humps right here where it's just pushing in, and it's actually broken through the bottom. You can see that hole, pretty good sized hole off to the left in the Orangeburg piping. We have a little tiny bit of root intrusion there, nothing serious. Then we transition back into clay. And we're going to make a turn, and we should drop in now into our main trunk line right here. Yeah, we're making our turn. Make our turn right there, and we drop into our main trunk line, and that's where we had the problem too as well with more root intrusion. So we're just going to check, locate this area. Okay, we've located the area, and this is the same area that we located in the driveway and marked at 4'4". And pulling back, like I said, you can see all the humps in the Orangeburg piping, and we had that one large hole off to the side. Hey Glenn, throw me up the rag, please. Glenn. Pulling back, and we have some large root intrusion up along that side. We're kind of stuck in there, it's just rotted out on the side. And we transition back to our clay, which is pretty well compacted. And then we transition back to the cast iron, where we have roots growing in the cast iron. And take a look, coming back, and then we have roots growing right through that section of cast iron right there. And then you can see the big bubble on the left hand side of the pipe, and it's following a crack, and that piece of cast iron is getting ready to fail. And there's some more up on the left hand side as well. And then we have our inlet, and that's where we've marked it to in the garage, where we would pull the trenchless from. And now we pull back further, and now our cast iron Seems to get pretty smooth all in all. Doesn't look too bad at all here. Don't see any root intrusions. Don't see any major cracks here. And we're coming back toward the bathroom area on this side of the house. And then we'll come up our vent here momentarily. We're going to make a turn here pretty quick. And now we make our turn. And we're coming up our vent. There's an inlet to the vent. Coming up our galvanized roof vent. And we're pulling out of our roof vent. And that will conclude our video sewer inspection.